During her Mary Kay career, Andrea's highest commission check in 1 month, that's 30 days, has been over $20,000. Her passion is mentoring women and developing them into strong leaders. Her purpose is inspiring women to be the best, have the best, and be all that God designed them to be. Her favorite quote is, "Winners never quit, and quitters never win." She works her business so that she can have the freedom to do the things she wants to do that are fun, serves the kingdom of God, and brings her life joy. Her motto is, "No woman left behind." She lives her life by Philippians 4:13. "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." She's married to her soulmate and business partner, Mr. Nate Scott, who wrote the book that literally changed her life. The title, Life is Rich, How to Create Lasting Wealth. And thank you, Nate, for being here today. This is the first time we've had him in our fashion show. From Jacksonville, Florida, our own independent national sales director, Andrea C. Scott.
Oh my goodness, I just got off a plane this morning after American Airlines was canceling stuff, and I was supposed to be home last night, and all kinds of good stuff. So I'm a little exhausted, but y'all sound even more tired than I do. Good afternoon, everybody! Yes! That's what you gotta do. You gotta give energy to the speaker, because the speaker's gonna give energy to you, all right? This is reciprocal. I'm so thrilled and excited to be here and to be honored to share some remarks. Carol Logan has so graciously asked me, I guess since the inception of this is my fourth time doing this shop's fourth time. Wow, okay? So, and I think it was supposed to be one and done, right? It was supposed to be one and done, but look at this room. How amazing is this? Give yourselves a hand, please. It is my honor to just share some words on this very, very special occasion to all of the fabulous models who are really the guests of honor. Every single one of you that are fighters. You know, it's interesting. A couple weeks ago, we were at Career Conference in March. It was a Mary Kay Career Conference. Hi, Mommy. How are you? And we were at Career Conference, and there was a young lady that I ran into who just finished up almost her final treatment of chemo and radiation, and she was looking so great, and I talked to her and called her over and told her how proud I was of her, and she was looking so wonderful, and she ended up, she's probably maybe 40-ish, and I had a double mastectomy because of just the aggressive nature of what she was battling. And I just kind of hugged on her and loved on her and everything. And so that next morning, I shared something with her. That next morning, I got up that morning and I texted her. And I texted her some information I said I wanted to give to her. And at the last thing that I said to her was, I'm so proud that you found your fight. And as soon as I wrote those words, I started to write what I thought were just words, and it turned into lyrics, and it turned into a song. Is that amazing? And it just flowed like I wrote a whole song called Find Your Fight. And it's based on just the different things that we have to fight. It's just so interesting that thought came to me. But I say that because you guys are fighters. And you found your fight. And you are, you are such an inspiration to so many. And I can imagine there's so many others that are in here that have found your fight in whatever it is, no matter what it is. Whether it's on the road to success, whether it's to finish up in school, a goal that you are going after or you went after. It comes to a point in our lives we have to find that fight, right? And so I want to just share a little bit on behalf of Mary Kay Cosmetics. I've had the privilege as Carol and the honor as Carol has shared of being a national sales director for the last 16 years with Mary Kay Cosmetics. And as a national sales director, I literally am a representation of the company. Mary Kay created the position because, of course, she knew she wouldn't live forever. And she wanted to position some women who held high to her values and the company's standards and all of those things so that we could continue her dream. And one of the things that she definitely wanted us to continue was helping her with this fight for cancer. And so cancer, you guys, affects not just the family, but it affects the community and it affects the world. Cancer doesn't care about the color of your skin, your faith, your level of education, or even the plans that you have for your future. Cancer has no respect of person. Matter of fact, cancer cells lay dormant inside of all of us, just waiting for the right external or internal factors to wake them up and set them off. It's when we're healthy and our immune system is strong, they're kept in check. And they usually don't show up until they've multiplied in the billions. It's the call that nobody wants to get and the news that nobody wants to hear. You have cancer. I have cancer. Mary Kay Ash started this company in 1963, and she started this company primarily for women. It was started for women back then in 1963 because back then women were being paid 50 cents on the dollar, that the man was being paid, and some things never change. But she started it to empower women so that they could go into the workforce or come out of the workforce, I should say, and be home to raise their children, and to be able to command an executive pay versus just the jobs that were available in the 60s to women, which were secretarial, nurses, and seamstresses, teachers, and those type of things. Nothing wrong with those things, but women were just not given the same opportunities as men. In 1996, Mary Kay created the Cancer Foundation, the Mary Kay Ash Charitable Foundation. And so far, we've granted over $74 million to organizations fighting cancer. Yes, and in fact, last year we debuted our amazing Time-Wise Miracle Set 3D products. If you have not tried the 3D products, okay, you are missing out big time. And the company, our president, challenged us that if we sold 1 million sets, that for every set sold, we would give $1. They would give $1 to the foundation. So we did do that, and we raised over $1 million for the cancer, for our foundation. For our foundation. The foundation was important to Mary Kay because Mary Kay's husband died of cancer. And Mel Ash, many people don't know, but he was the one who helped her to get the company started. And he literally died of lung cancer right before the company was to open. When Mary Kay died in November of 2001 on her favorite birthday, but on her favorite holiday, which is Thanksgiving, Mary Kay left $15 million. She bequeathed $15 million to the foundation, and that was for $1 million a year was to be given for 15 years for research that affects cancers and domestic violence. I don't know if you guys know that the number one cancer killer among men and women is lung cancer. Did you guys know that? Okay. The number 2 cancer killer is colon cancer. The number 3 cancer killer is pancreatic cancer. And the number 4 cancer killer is breast cancer. And Florida, the state of Florida, has the second highest number of new cases of cancer detected in men and women. I know y'all not trying to hear that. Second only to California. Yeah, right? It's all sunshine. Okay? So what is the thing that causes it? What is the thing that causes it? Genetics, for one. Environmental. Unfortunately, air pollution, radon, diesel exhaust, and even some chemicals that are found in our homes. 80% of cancer in the U.S. is developed in people 55 years and older. So if you have a lifestyle of smoking, drinking alcohol, excessive body weight, tobacco chewing, and even secondhand smoke, those things are also contributing factors. I have a personal story of cancer in my experience. My mother, who's one of the fabulous models, is a breast cancer survivor. And I remember in 2004, I came from a trip with Mary Kay from one of our national trips. And I was calling her all day the next morning to just tell her how my trip went. And I couldn't find her. And my mom and I usually talk like several times a day, and this particular day I could not find her at all. I called my dad and I said, "Where's Mom?" He said she was in an appointment. My mother's a Mary Kay director, and I thought maybe she was at a facial or a skincare party or something like that. And I started calling my mom at like 7 a.m. and I didn't get a call back from her until after 2 p.m. And I said, "Mom, where have you been? I've been leaving messages for you. It's been going straight to your voicemail." And she said to me, she said, "I need you to come pick me up." I said, "Pick you up?" I said, "Where's your car?" She said, "I need you to come pick me up." I said, "Where are you?" She said, "I'm at Baptist." I said, "Baptist?" She said, "Yeah, I'm at Baptist downtown." And the next words out of my mouth were, "Mom, do you have cancer?" It's almost as if I knew. It's almost as if I was prepared. Because she's the first one in the family to ever be diagnosed. It didn't run in our family, so that we didn't know it. You don't really do any research until it happens to you or it happens to somebody in your family, because nobody ever thinks that you're the one going to get that call or your family member is going to be the one to break that news to you. And I remember going to get her, and I was very calm, and I said, "Mom, okay, so what's happening?" She went on to tell me that she found a lump and that kind of thing, and didn't want to tell me because I was on my trip, and so we dealt with it. And we dealt with it in a family matter, and I'm thankful to God that He healed my mom. And I truly believe that my mother was healed, number one, because of her positive outlook, her positive mental outlook, and she found her fight. But I also believe that God needed her to care for my dad, who did not survive cancer. He passed away 3 years ago from pancreatic cancer. And then the other thing that kind of shifted me was in August, when my family went to my brother went to get married in California. We all flew out there. We flew my pastor to marry him. That was his big thing. He wanted to be my pastor here in Jacksonville to marry he and his wife. And so the whole family flew. We flew her out and everything like that. And that was in August. In September, she was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. And she passed away in October, and we buried her on November 3rd. And that so shifted me. It so shifted me because it was so fast. And I want you guys to know how amazing life is and how we should live it to its fullest capacity. And to do the things that you want to do. Set your goals and go after them. Don't say I'm too old or I'm too young or it's too late for me or I don't have this or I don't have this qualification. Be willing to do whatever it is that you want to do. because life is that precious. And so I'm thankful for each and every one of you that are here that are survivors. If you are a survivor, would you please stand? Would you please stand? I don't know if they acknowledged you guys prior to, even if you're in the audience. If you're in the audience. Is a survivor, would you please stand? A family member that is a survivor, would you please stand? If you have a friend, a close personal friend or relative that's, I'm sorry, it's a family member. If you have a friend, a close friend that's a survivor, please stand. Please stand. Please stand. And our last call is for those of you who had to fight with someone who I say won the battle, because, for me as a believer, to live is Christ and to die is gain. So either way, it's a win-win. And if somebody got a win because they're in heaven now, would you please stand? If you have a family member or friend, they got a win. They got a win, right? Amazing. Okay, it's amazing. 1 in 3 women will be diagnosed, and you guys can have a seat. 1 in 3 women will be diagnosed with cancer in her lifetime. It may be you, it may be your sister, it may be your mom, it may be your grandma, your best girlfriend, your neighbor, but those are the statistics and the facts. There was a recent study that came out, an independent study that came out. I shared with you guys that lung cancer is the #1 cancer killer. And there are some environmental things, you guys. I can't help what happens outside and how they're killing me outside, but I can help how I'm killing me on the inside, right? And so, you guys, there's an independent study that talks about lung cancer and some of the things that you can do to prevent that. And if you're interested in getting that lung study, you want to text the word cancer to 904-204-0846. And you'll get the lung study. You'll get the lung study. The lung cancer study is what I'm trying to say. I want to share with you real quickly about our domestic violence foundation. Our domestic violence foundation was founded in the year 2000. And since then, we've donated over $46 million to shelters, domestic violence shelters, even here in Jacksonville, Florida. I want you guys to know, I was sitting next to these beautiful young ladies here, and they're having a ball. They are laughing and joking, and they are like, cheering their loved ones on. And but here's a statistic that's very alarming. Domestic violence starts as young as 14 years old with young girls. There are young people and young women that are young ladies, or young girls at 14 years old that are being beat up by their boyfriends. And their parents don't know. They're hiding it with, I hope not Mary Kay concealer, but they're hiding it with makeup. Okay? Men are also victims of domestic violence. It's not something that is as high a rate, but there are men that are being beat up by their girlfriends and wives. Signs and symptoms. Isolation. When you're that person that you're with starts to isolate you or pull you away from your family members. Explosive or angry outbursts. That first shove, that first slap, or that first hit. The first one should be the last one. The first one should be the last one. What causes it? A lot of times it's environmental. What do I mean by that? I mean they grew up seeing it. They grew up watching their dads beat their moms or their sisters getting tossed around by their boyfriends. And they thought that it was how you were to be a man. Or maybe unchecked anger issues. Maybe she saw her mom punch her dad or throw plates at him because she just had unchecked anger issues. Sometimes it's low self-esteem. Low self-esteem. People who don't feel good about themselves and not confident. And so, making other people feel small by abuse makes them feel greater. Making you feel less than. And I want you guys to know, I gotta let you guys know, that there is no one that should make you feel less than. No matter how old you are, no matter how old, young, it doesn't matter what level of life you're in. Matter of fact, our #1 national sales director in all of Mary Kay Cosmetics, there are 3.5 million consultants in this company. She is the #1 ranked in the United States with over 1 million consultants, directors, and nationals combined. She is the #1 ranked. She has a Harvard MBA, a Harvard degree, and her husband was an attorney. And she was beat for 10 years. She was in a 10-year marriage being abused domestically by her attorney husband. And it took her 10 years to get the courage to leave. It's not easy. It's not easy. And so I shared this with you all, that there is, if you know someone that is being battered, abused, if someone is embarrassing you loudly, degrading you loudly, where they don't even care that people are hearing or they're making a scene, that's a sign. And you guys, I want you to know that you can text the word love. Text the word love to 22522 in order to get help. If you need help or you know someone who needs help, just slip them that text love to this number. And there's someone there that will reach out to you and that will help you. The domestic violence hotline is 24 hours. 24 hours. Do not wait and put your life at risk. Do not wait to do your cancer, to do your breast exams, ladies. Amen. Do not wait. And do not wait until your life is at risk in order to get help. I want to thank you, Carol Logan, and your sisters in company. Thank you to all of you guys that are here that donated to support this foundation and this effort. I truly believe that together, as cancer advocates, as domestic violence advocates, and matter of fact, if you are a survivor of domestic violence, would you please stand? That's the other thing that I wanted to. Yes. Thank you. Now, put down, if you have a family member that is a survivor, that got out of a bad relationship of domestic violence, would you please stand with them? You're a family member. Awesome. If you have a close friend that survived domestic violence, would you please stand? Awesome. And if unfortunately you have someone that you know, whether family or friend, neighbor, coworker, that did not survive domestic violence, would you please stand with them? Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Wow. These are issues, you guys, are so dear to my heart. And you guys can have a seat. And I know that together we can team up for women and beat these beasts. Thank you guys so much for hearing me out and for allowing me to share.
My wife's mother is a breast cancer survivor. Her father passed away from pancreatic cancer before we got married. Our pastor was diagnosed with cancer in September. She passed away in October. We buried her in November. The fight against cancer is something that's very, very important to me. And so what I'm asking everyone to do is to understand that 1 in 3 women are diagnosed with some form of cancer during their lifetime. 1 in 3. 1 in 3 women are diagnosed with some form of cancer during their lifetime. Lung cancer is the #1 cancer killer of all cancers. Lung cancer. Number 2 is colon. Number 3 is pancreatic. Number 4 is breast. But you would think breast is #1. It's lung cancer. But how is lung cancer #1 when most people don't smoke? And most people don't have secondhand smoke. It's environmental. And the one act I'm asking each one of you to do and to consider is simply this. I want you to go home, look underneath your sink, bathroom and kitchen sink, pull out any of the products that you have, sit it on the counter, and read the labels. If you see any of the products that have warning labels on them, okay, consider receiving a study. Actually, read the study in the back of your book. The study I have in there shows that cleaning your house once a week with certain products is like smoking a pack of cigarettes per day.
Wow.
For 20 years. Whether or not you do something with that or not, I've given that to you and I've armed you with information that's counter to what we grew up with. Because if you're like me, growing up in the South, bleach, if it ain't smelling like it, it ain't clean. Right? Okay? That's exactly right. But when you know better, you do better.
That's right.
So what I'm saying to you is that this is because we know firsthand what this simple thing is. And so I'm asking of you is we want to reach 20,000 women this year. And I like to measure things. That's why, again, I don't do these different, I like to track, because if I now can count how many of you I've said this to, I know that I've checked off the block with giving X number of people the information. Whether or not you do something or not, that's not my issue. It's like God's word each and every Sunday. Pastor's got to just give the word. You got to decide whether or not you receive it. Amen? But that's what I ask. If you will support me in that, of one, just doing that exercise, and then text cancer to this number here. Text cancer to this number here to get the study. Okay? And then from there, that'll truly help my family and I, and also allow you to help your family if you decide to do something. But at least you got the information so that then those babies don't have to grow up with the same thing that we've grown up with just because we didn't know any better. Mm-hmm. Amen? You are someone that wants to join this fight against cancer, go to www.ourbreathoflife.com to see our story and to see what things you can do to eliminate some harmful things from your home, because you may not know this, but cleaning your house just once a week with certain products is like smoking a pack of cigarettes per day for 20 years.
Nate Scott, Community. He's here to provide us a plethora of information, but also get us focused on our future. On his website, there is a phrase that says, the process. If I tell you, you'll forget. If I teach you, you'll remember. If I involve you, you'll learn. Be sure to get involved with Mr. Scott. He's here to empower the community.